But the Tuono V4 1100, Aprilia ushered in the new decade with a racebike-inspired design. To create this track-capable vehicle, the manufacturer drew on its own not insignificant WSBK expertise, and the intended market would be riders who truly desire to compete on a closed-circuit or road course. With a full complement of updated race-centric ride-quality electronics and corner-sensing technology, a 175 horsepower V4 engine delivers the goods. The Tuono V4 1100 is powered by a 65-degree 4-cylinder V from Aprilia, hence the brilliantly smart name, and the outcome is disastrous. The liquid-cooled mill produces a monstrous 175 horsepower at 11,000 RPM and 89 pound-feet of torque that peaks at 9,000. Although you have to deal with a lot of force, the factory provides you with the equipment you need to maintain it rubber side down. The Tuono V4 1100 is essentially a liter-sized superbike that has had some of its bodywork removed to create a highly powerful naked street fighter. The Tuono is built for racing, but it was also bred for the streets, so it has all the standard street-legal accessories. The Tuono V4 1100's perimeter frame, which is made of cast and pressed aluminum, has dual beams as its primary structural element and cast and pressed elements for reinforcement and stiffness. The engine completes the skeleton by acting as a stressed part. Under a trio of power delivery curves, a ride-by-wire control interacts with a new electronic control unit as the main command feature, and the Aprilia Performance Ride Control Canopy houses a host of race-specific electronics. Launch control helps you nail your hole shots, while lean-sensitive traction wheelie control joins the ABS for enhanced stability. You can move up and down the range without ever using the clutch, thanks to a quick shift option. If you really ride the motorcycle in a sanctioned event to cap off the fanfare, the Aprilia pit limiter lets you choose your pit lane speed. The ratios are crunched by the 6-speed cassette gearbox. A slipper-type clutch operates between the gearbox and the lump to provide mild clutch pulls and drag torque prevention. The engine's induction is controlled by four 48mm Weber Morelli throttle bodies, while the ignition is controlled by a Magneti Morelli digital ECS and coilover plug wires. With an 81mm bore and a brief 52.3mm stroke for a total displacement of 1077 cc, it is severely over square. The Tuono V4 1100 can reach 155 miles per hour at its peak speed because to the overall driving ratio. To complete the front illumination, a trio of headlights with cowl mount, standoff-style turn signals divide the night. I doubt you could tuck down tightly enough to completely fit in the pocket because the fly screen up top just punches a tiny hole in the wind. The Tuono is at the more nimble end of the range because to its 27-degree rake angle and 3.92-inch trail. The suspension has all three settings, so you can manually tweak both ends until the ride and feel are exactly what you desire. The suspension and large brakes were also taken directly from the RSV4. Around 70% of the job is performed by the dual 330mm discs and 4-piston radial mount Brembo monoblock front calipers, with the remaining 30% being handled by a 220mm disc and twin-pod anchor that keeps the rear end where it should be. Anti-lock is pre-installed. It's none other than Bosch's 9.1 MP cornering ABS technology, which has three distinct settings for varying rear wheel lift mitigation and quantities of slide, as well as a switchable setting for direct braking activation.